And I've been joined by Kojo. And Kojo, we know accidents have been a bane on our development, because it's not only the economic loss that we suffer, but also the fatalities.
And you know, it's an emotional issue. You can't escape that, because almost every accident is avoidable. Almost every accident. The majority of accidents have a human cause. And if only we were doing the right things, so many lives would not have been lost. There are people whose families have been decimated. Mother, father, firstborn, secondborn, gone in one accident, just because somebody did the wrong thing. You know, and I think when people are driving, they feel invincible. They feel like nothing can ever go wrong, nothing can hurt them. You know, so they are reckless, careless. People are texting while they're driving, you know, and honestly, the human cost is far too much for us to keep taking it for granted. And I believe we're joined on the phone by Engineer David Osafo-Adonting. He's the Director of Planning and Programs at the National Road Safety Authority. Engineer, good morning. Thank you for speaking to us. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Kojo.
Yes, good to speak to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, the whole nation is concerned. Since the Arrive Alive campaign began, everybody is concerned about the numbers, the needless deaths. And there are so many institutions in Ghana that have a role to play here. The National Road Safety Authority, as we know, is seeking to take the lead in curbing these deaths. What's the plan?
Yes. Kojo, are you hearing me?
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
Yes. Good morning, and thank you very much for this opportunity. And again, let me thank Multimedia for your initiative in the Arrive Alive campaign. As you're aware, we are gearing up very strongly to partner Multimedia and some selected media groups to scale up our campaign activities, sensitization and awareness creation coming the next few weeks and so on. I think that if it comes to ensuring safety on the road, as you're aware, it is not one institution's assignment. It is a collective and shared responsibility. I think we've said it time and time and again that apart from the fact that the National Road Safety Authority has a mandate to provide a lead, which we have been doing over the past number of years, it requires and behoves on other institutions to also contribute their quota. What I mean is that once we do as a core function with regards to education, awareness, advocacy, research, and so on, it is also required that the police, led by the MTTD, also provide the kind of enforcement that will complement the effort of education. And then we have the road agencies, the Ghana Highway Authority, Department of Urban Roads and Federal Roads, to also do their bit, ensuring that the road infrastructure is also safe. Tarring, signage, markings, signaling, traffic lights, and all that, street lights. And then we have the ambulance services. Fortunately, now we have seen the upstage of the National Ambulance Services coming up with a number of ambulances, which means that they, on their part, have also scaled up their efforts and their activities. Now it is about the others. We think that to date, we have done a lot in terms of sensitization. I can bet you. I believe that there's no Ghanaian in this country, there's no Ghanaian who will say that he's never heard a word or two as far as don't overspeed, don't drink and drive, and don't drive tired, and all those campaigns are concerned. Everybody has heard something in whichever corner they are. What it means that how do they apply? And I think that is where the enforcement comes in. We have to see enforcement, rigorous enforcement of the rules and regulations. The responsibility of protecting life, it is one's own assignment. For example, you and I, anytime we get onto the street, as we find ourselves at pedestrians, passengers, motorcyclists or cyclists, the first responsibility is for us to obey the rules and to do one thing or the other to demonstrate responsibility and discipline. That is beyond which the National Road Safety Authority will come in. We
Right.
have provided enough guidance. We have provided enough direction, education, sensitization. How many times have we not been to the radio, TV, gone through outreach programs and so on? Now it is up to the people to accept the challenge and now change their mindset and change their behavior. If we keep going the way it is now, speeding unnecessarily, overtaking unnecessarily, taking the law into our own hands and misbehaving on the street, then it will be a very difficult task, not only for the National Road Safety Authority, but all of us. And so I think that it is time for us to do what is right as far as institutional mandate responsibilities are concerned.
Right.
And that is where I come in to always commend you for that initiative, because you are doing your bit. But you cannot be everywhere, and you can't do it the whole day. You have to do it at a certain portion, and it is your expectation that people message and then do it on the ground and practice it. And that is where we can be making some strides as we move forward into ensuring safety.
Absolutely. Now, Mr. Osafo, I don't think I'm also mindful of the fact that the weekends appear to be the most dangerous time when it comes to road accidents. 3 weeks ago, on the weekend, there was an unfortunate death of a young man who was coming back from church choir practice. Then last week there was the Apam accident, as well as the one on the Tema motorway. One of them took 5 lives, the other took 6. Then last weekend, an accident somewhere near Akwemu, and then another one at I think it's Dominase. It appears that the weekend is just, I mean, the roads are not safe on the weekends. Has the Road Safety Authority noticed this, and what do you think might be the reason for this trend?
Yes, Kojo, I think you are perfectly right. If you look at, we always put it out there clearly when we are giving them out from either the police or from our end. And it shows very clearly that crashes are higher. Okay. In fact, from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you can find collectively that if you relate it to the weekdays, then weekends are so risky and dangerous because of certain factors. And in the first place, it is weekend. And you know what weekend means in Ghana. People are traveling to their various villages and going for funerals. There are a lot of engagement regard to weddings and outdoorings and so on in terms of entertainment. And so you find travels very heavy on our road, especially on the highways. Now, during these periods, this is where people misbehave a lot. Now, some of them are under influence of alcohol. Others have taken in certain drugs that over the period, once you are getting, you have gone for funerals and so on, then it means that you will have to take in something by all means. So weekends are periods that, you find people misbehaving a lot. Now, our roads are said that, we have said it time and time and again, that our roads are not forgiving. Elsewhere in the world, roads have been designed and constructed in a manner that even if you make a mistake, you can recover. You can have a way of coming back. But our designs and the road infrastructure, the layout is said that if you make a mistake, the road will punish you. And so we have said that people should avoid making mistakes. They should avoid making mistakes. We are saying that the kind of speeds we are seeing on our roads, especially during weekends, where people think that, and sometimes the police you don't find their presence on the street during weekends. For some reason, I can't tell for now. But most police practices in terms of enforcement are limited during the weekends, even though some of them go, but they don't find them during the weekends like it is during the. So people have taken advantage, and they speed beyond the speed limits, somewhat by, like aircraft. Now, if you speed that much on our streets, on our road and highways, and you make a mistake, it will. Now, we're talking about driving under influence of alcohol. The rules are said that if you make a mistake and you go off the carriageway and hit somewhere beyond the carriageway, you are supposed to recover and come back. But our road will not accept that and will not give you that opportunity. Don't let us make the mistakes. Let's be preventive. Minimize your speeds. We have said it and we keep saying it. There are signs all around the roads. Some are compliant, but others are not. I have severally on the highways, the way people drive, there's kind of speeds during the weekends especially, as if they want to fly. And that is completely unacceptable. And you find people sitting in cars and buses and nobody complains. People are speeding 200 and beyond 200 kilometers per hour on the highways, which are almost single carriageway. They are overtaking anyhow. They want to overtake 10 vehicles in front of you at the same time. It's unacceptable. People are just doing anything they like on the streets. And I'm saying that if you mess up, if you make a mistake, the road will punish you. And so don't let us make those mistakes. All these crashes you are talking about, we know, we have recorded them. And we have made further regards to getting to know the contributory factors. And they are all human-made. They are all human-made. Some of them you can't attribute to the road infrastructure in particular. Where the crashes are happening, I said that the roads are very clear, very straightforward. You find line markings there. You find road signs clear. You can see. Unfortunately, these are where the crashes are happening. So it is purely a human error, human attitude and behavior. And that is where we are strongly hitting on the human attitude, changing of behavior. And we have to change. Because tomorrow we are meeting the core group of media, of which you are part of it. And when we meet, we are going to see how we can partner the media, and this time, strengthen and scale up the campaign to compel people to change their behavior by all means. Otherwise, I think everything we do will still come to a naught. That is what I think.
Now, tell us, there are reports that there will be a ban imposed on the importation of cars that are more than 10 years old. Is this true?
Is that Roland?
No, this is still Kojo.
Kojo. You see, I think that under our new dispensation, our new regime, the National Road Safety Authority, the authority must work. If we have moved from commission to authority, now the authority must work. It means that we have to now, under the new mandate, do everything that is right to make the road safe or safer. If it requires in the law that we should ban something, it must be banned. If it should compel some institution to do it, we must compel them to do it. In any case, we will not have statistics for now, perhaps, to indicate the number of crashes that can be related to perhaps old age vehicles and so on. But if the vehicle does not satisfy the standards, as far as DVLA standards for registration, inspection are concerned, then it must be taken out of traffic. I think this is as simple as that. We have to be hard. We shouldn't compromise at all. If we go into the law, which we are interrogating currently, and there is a provision that has made it clearly that a particular vehicle, if it is not roadworthy, it must get out of the system, the traffic system, then it must be done. I think these are some of the hardliner interventions that we need to institute as an authority. And we're coming. Gradually, we got this authority somewhere in August last year. There are a lot of things that we wanted to do, but because we're limited by mandate, we were unable to do. Now, by God's grace and by the government's own wisdom, the authority has come, and we are putting in place all the necessary structures. Vehicles that do not qualify to be in traffic must be removed automatically. Right. Human beings, talking about drivers, who do not qualify to be behind steering wheels must be removed. We must eliminate all of them out of traffic. I think if we do that, people will now learn to see that being in traffic is not a privilege. It's a privilege, rather. It should be a privilege. It is not everybody that qualifies to be there. If you don't qualify, you shouldn't be there. And so we are looking at all this. And I'm sure in the coming weeks, if we are able to take these hardliner actions, people will learn to see how they can come in with a qualification, with a mindset that will be more of protecting human life and property, not making money. I think these are the lines we are coming up with. Kojo.
Well, Mr. Adonting, I want to thank you for your time with us. You've certainly given us an image of the future if all things go well. Let's hope that we can work together to make that happen. Thank you so much. Now, we're going to take a very short break, but when we come back, the Managing Director of Prime Time Limited joins us. They are the organizers of the National Science and Maths Quiz. Now, the regional competitions are beginning, and we are going to talk about them. They'll end in the first week of March, so there's a lot to happen between now and then. We'll get excited all about it when we speak to the Managing Director of Prime Time Limited. Of course, as reigning champions, we're excited about this conversation. Stay with us. We're back after these.